Did you know that for this movie, Scarlett Johansson has been a huge fan of the franchise ever since she was a child? She spent the last 10 years before this film was announced trying to join the franchise, saying she would have been fine with appearing in only one, to die in the first 5 minutes, if it meant she could be a part of it. I'm a little late to the party with this movie. I saw it last week. I've been under the weather, but I'm feeling a lot better now, so I'm very excited to just share my thoughts on this movie. I've always been a fan of the Jurassic Park franchise. The last one, Dominion, didn't do much for me, so I was very excited to see what Rebirth would do, launching most likely a new trilogy, new characters, new dinos, all that. So I have a lot of good things to say about this movie. I have some bad things to say about this movie, but I will save the bad things for the end. So the first thing I liked about this movie is I like the story. We get to shake it up a little bit. It's not going off the formula of any of the previous Jurassic Park movies where it's mainly just at a park, either it's Jurassic Park or just like in Jurassic World. We actually get to completely go somewhere different this time, and now we are on some island that is owned by InGen, which we know InGen from Jurassic World. So that right there got me intrigued. I can't remember exactly, but I believe that this instance that the island they go to is based off of a book or was one of the original ideas for one of the first Jurassic Park movies. I also really like the characters. It's a pretty good cast, honestly. Like they really got a good cast going there. We got Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, and Mahershala Ali, all great actors. I mean, they all have some pretty good movies and shows under their belts, so a lot of people are gonna know who they are. But each character, I really like what each character brought to the table. And I also what I really liked about the characters is a lot of them, each one of them was going through something tough. They all had some baggage that they were carrying with them, especially Zora and Duncan. Those characters definitely had the most baggage and were very relatable. And then we had Jonathan Bailey's character, Dr. Henry Loomis. He wasn't really carrying much baggage. He was more trying to wants to do a little bit more with his life. Wants people to get interested in dinosaurs again, because apparently people are sick of dinosaurs at this point. But he wanted to do something big and grand with his life instead of just running a museum. You know, you really had some investment in each one of these characters, just because just how they were written and portrayed. I think they're really solid, and I'm really excited to see them come back in the future. I was a big fan of all three of them, and they all worked together. They all had a really great presence on screen with each other. Every single one of them. I really did like the chemistry between Zora and Henry. I mainly just think that's just because Jonathan Bailey, he's very good at just he can connect with anybody. He just has a really good chemistry with anybody. He's just that kind of guy. And then Scarlett Johansson, she's got just attractive qualities, and she's easy to get along with, and she can click with anybody on screen too if they match her energy, which Jonathan Bailey definitely matched her energy. And then Mahershala Ali's character of Duncan, he's a very cool dude, Mahershala, and his character vibed with both Henry and Zora for sure. And then, of course, the dinosaurs in this movie. Now, some people were not really a fan of how they approached the dinosaurs. It wasn't really, there weren't any dinosaurs in this movie that were typical dinosaurs except for that one Tyrannosaurus Rex that we got to see near the end of the movie. All the rest of them were all hybrids. They're kind of going off of the formula from the Jurassic World movies where they did a lot of hybridization there. These were just even crazier hybrids and experimentations and science projects gone wrong, you know. But it adds a tiny bit of horror aspect to that because of mutations and all that. The D-Rex was the main symbol of mutation in the movie, but we also got the Mosasaurus. He's kind of the VIP in the Jurassic World franchise, but then we got the Spinos coming back, and we had those don't know what they're called. They were those really big flying dinosaurs, and then the kind of the hybrid dinosaurs, the velociraptors were mixed with something else. Those are interesting. I mean, I was a fan of all of them. Like, it didn't bother me that they were going the hybrid route, as long as they at least would include one dinosaur that most people would be familiar with. And the Tyrannosaurus Rex was one. Like, okay, But then they had a lot of other dinosaurs in there. Like, okay, they're similar to what, regular dinosaurs is. They just add a couple extra features to it. Yeah, I was a big fan of the dinosaurs, especially the D-Rex is my favorite by far. Gareth Edwards, he directed Rogue One, so of course, he Star Wars inspiration there with it's very Rancor looking. Like I was a big fan of that. Like I said, it adds a little more horror aspect to it. I was all in on the D-Rex. He was one of my favorites, and then I'd say my second favorite dinosaur. I actually like the hybrid Velociraptor with I don't remember what they were mixed with. I can't remember the name of the dinosaur either, but those were pretty sweet too. Before I get into what I did, like drop in the comments below if you could make any dinosaur hybrid. What kind of dinosaur would you make? And the things I didn't like about this movie is I felt like a lot of the movie was very copy and paste. It took a lot of the energy away, it took a lot of the excitement away because if you've seen all the Jurassic Park movies and Jurassic World movies, you've seen a lot of different stories, you've seen a lot of different characters and reveals and dinosaurs. So in this movie, I was expecting a little more originality to it, just because I had some pretty high hopes for this movie, but then some of these were almost shot for shot. The only difference is they switched out the dinosaurs. Anyone who's seen any of the Jurassic Park movies would recognize some of the shots that they did in Rebirth because I'm like, oh, that was just straight out of the first movie. And then the scene with the Velociraptor hybrid, that was taken straight out of the first movie too. But instead of it being in like a laboratory, it's in a grocery store. So kind of took away from the excitement and took me out a little bit. I don't really like when people copy and paste because Gareth Edwards, he's a phenomenal director. So the reason why I had high hopes for this movie is because he's directing it. So I thought he would really give us something new and fresh. Not really. He kind of leaned into the copy and paste approach a little bit too much. So I really wasn't a fan of that. And then second thing, there really wasn't a whole lot of dinosaur action. I mean, it was more of like, okay, we're going to show you the dinosaur. We're going to do a few shots of the dinosaur. Maybe some people, oh, look at the dinosaur. They're revealing the jaw-dropping moments, but there wasn't a whole lot of dinosaur action. I love the Spinosaurus scene with the Mosasaurus. That was probably the best action sequence of the entire movie. But outside of that, there's not a whole lot. I was expecting a little bit more. Especially with the D-Rex. I feel like the D-Rex was underutilized. He was more for like show, like, oh, look at this D-Rex, like we're gonna show him in the light and whatever, but he doesn't fight anything. He just like kills a few people, yeah, but I was just expecting more dinosaur action, and I just didn't get what I was hoping for. I really am hoping that we get a trilogy out of this. What most likely we will. I think Jurassic World Rebirth is doing a pretty good job at the box office right now. I'm excited to see the future, which way they go. With all that being said, I highly recommend if you are a fan of the Jurassic Park franchise. This is a good movie. I wouldn't over-expect anything, but it is a really fun movie to just sit back, enjoy. So I highly recommend check out this movie if you haven't already as soon as you possibly can. So for Jurassic World Rebirth, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 Mudflaps, and remember, leave me a thumbs up. See you soon.